be an orange. You might ask, why an orange? Well, there are actually several reasons. An orange is bright, it's familiar, it's simple. There's something about the shape, the colour. In fact, have you ever heard of the orange effect? Neither have I, because it doesn't fucking exist. You thought I was about to explain some obscure psychological phenomenon about oranges now, didn't you? The truth is, I just thought it was a really good thumbnail. I mean, look at this little patootie with that ugly moustache. Life-changing, honestly. Anyway, what's really interesting about the orange is that it's orange. I know, surprising. It's also roundish. It doesn't have a career. It doesn't compare itself to other oranges. It just sits there waiting and waiting and waiting to be... Had to blur this one. Poor orange. Months of growing, all that sunlight, all that water, 5 minutes of your breakfast. One if you gulped it all in one go. That's kind of sad when you think about it. An entire existence, reduced to something you finish before your coffee gets cold. Can that even be called a life? Because that's a little unsettling. But unlike the orange, you have something it doesn't have. Actually, never mind. Speaking of orange things, I am pretty sure you secretly watched one of those AI fruit videos. Oh yeah, admit it. This is a safe space. We don't judge here. Or maybe we do.
Mom,
A fruit living a pathetic little life. And somehow, things get even worse. You can almost empathize with it.
Stay close to me, okay?
Sign these papers. I'm done with you and the kids.
Which is pretty funny, because 5 minutes ago, you were perfectly happy eating one. Something about seeing a little face on something changes the way you feel about it. That's where being conscious gets interesting. It gives us the ability to see beyond ourselves. Think about how vast the world is. Skies, lands, seas, and the millions of species living in it, from birds to plants, animals, fish and insects, even bacteria. Scientists estimate there are roughly 120 quintillion microbes for every human. That's a 120 followed by, honestly, way too many zeros for me to care about counting. So if life were handing out characters at random, congratulations, you rolled human. Pretty good roll, honestly. If you thought you were never lucky in life, that's most probably where you used it all. But seriously, imagine you were a bacterium. You live your entire little life on some random surface. You're doing your thing, existing, multiplying. You start building your little empire. Until one day, you realize you're in a petri dish. Your entire little world was just an experiment. And just like that, you cease to exist. That awfully reminds me of something. While every being's existence is bound to an end, yours is different. You're aware of it. You know you're here. You know you're alive. And you know that one day you're not going to be. But what do we actually do with that? We dwell on questions that don't have answers. Like, why am I me? Seriously. Out of all the gazillion beings on Earth, you were born a human. And somehow, you were born you. That should be ridiculously special, right? Because theoretically, for you to be here, an absurd chain of people had to exist first. You needed 2 parents, your parents had 2 parents each, then those 4 had parents too, and it keeps going. Just 10 generations back, you're already looking at 1,024 people who had to be somewhere in the chain that led to you. Go back 20 generations, roughly 500 years, and you're looking at over 1 million slots that had to be filled perfectly just for you to show up. Doesn't that make you so profoundly curious? Who are these people? What kind of lives did they live? What were their names and faces like? What were their worries, their dreams? For you to exist, every single generation had to keep the chain going. Someone had to meet someone. Someone had to survive. Someone had to have a child. And then that child had to do it all over again. Over and over and over. Until eventually, you. Not any being. Not any human. You. Your existence is insanely unlikely and uniquely yours. but nobody seems to have told you what to do with it. Well, I don't fucking know either. I was hoping you knew. Which brings me to wonder, do you actually think there are any actual spectators or moderators, or is the whole planet just going on free mode? No tutorial, no objective, no instructions. You just spawn in, and somehow you're expected to figure it out. And nobody even gets the same map. Some spawn into money, some spawn into chaos, some get a head start, some are already exhausted by the time they even know they have to live. And the really weird part is, you don't get to choose your character. You just open your eyes one day and this is your life, this body, this face, these parents, this language, this little collection of memories that somehow became you. And then you spend the rest of your life trying to figure out what the hell you're supposed to do with it. Which is kind of a lot. I mean, you get one single life. You didn't ask for it. You didn't choose it. But here you are. So I guess you might as well do your best with it. I know I am not, but that's just me. Don't be me. Anyway, I still have no idea what an orange had to do with any of this. But it made a pretty good thumbnail. If you want to be an orange, be an orange. If you want to be something else, be that. I mean, apparently nobody knows what we're doing anyway.